Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am downstairs in my craft room, and today I am joined by my pal, Minnie Mouse. I put them upstairs in my son's bedroom and said, can you please keep an eye on them for 20 minutes? And he said, sure, put them on my bed. And here she is. So that didn't work out very well. But anyway, I am hoping that you're joining me today because I have another fun thing to share with you. So much fun. Last night was my team meeting. I had a couple of girls joining me, and we did a little make and take, which is actually a business tool. Now this was provided, I trained with Rhonda Wade, and this was provided by her. And I think it's a fabulous idea. So this business tool, Minnie is really making me nervous because here she is down here in the background, clicking around with her feet, and if she starts barking, you're not going to hear me at all. But anyway, this is my business tool. As you can see, maybe, I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, oh, there you can see it a little bit with the pink and everything. This is called an embossing ring. It's a little sampler of embossing folders. The pieces of each embossing folder cardstock, or embossed cardstock I should say, is 2.5 by 4 inches, and it's on a sheet of 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 inches. So you can get, unless my math is wrong, 8 out of each sheet of paper. But so I did a bunch for my team, and I did every current embossing folder that's out there in a rainbow of colors. So I wanted to talk about embossabilities today. The reason I love embossing is because with just a little bit of work, not much effort, it dresses up a card, and you have no idea how much it dresses up a card. Now, this is not to say that a card without embossing or without extra ribbon, a simple card, is not beautiful or appreciated. I want to make that clear right now. What I should say is also, if you're joining me, please share and like this video. Sharing is caring, as Jamie says. Like this video, share it to your timeline, let other people watch it. I'll also boost it because there's a lot of information that I'm going to share with you. Anyway, what I wanted to say though is anybody getting a hand-stamped, handmade card is going to love it. They're going to appreciate it no matter what. I just want to show you the difference between a simple card and just a little bit of wow. So that's what I'm going to do today. So we actually have 20 embossing folders that are current right now. Let's see, there are, I'm trying to think, I believe there are 6 that are, 5 or 6, I'm sorry, I didn't put the labels on the back. I know 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 5 right now that are just simple embossing folders. They don't have any dimension to them, but they still have a lot of wow. And then, which means that if there are 5, we have 15 others that have dimension, quite a bit of dimension. But so we no longer have the big shot, but most of you have one. The difference between a card with embossing or without can be the difference of me. I just want to make a point. This is not going to be a signature move that I'm going to do every time, but it's a me as is, or me just with some pearls on. It just dresses it up a little bit with not a whole lot of work. All I did was add some pearls. Okay, so I wanted to show you some cards that I made, and I'll show you the difference. Now this card, I'm going to show you when I'm down again, but this card, I wanted it to be this way. Is copied from a card made by Carol Ann Patterson. I got it in a swap. Hers was more elaborate. This is just a very simple version. And I wanted to show you the difference of this card versus this card. Now, I don't necessarily like this, but I wanted to show you the difference. This mosaic paper, beautiful paper with a beautiful design, has beautiful mosaic texture behind it. And I'll show you again when I flip down, but that's just a little bit, and I haven't even put a sentiment on it yet because I don't know who the card's for. I don't know what I want to send it for. But that's one card. I'll show you in a minute. I showed you this card a couple of weeks ago, Now this card, I don't know if you can see it or not, right down there uses the subtle folder. And no, I didn't have time to make a full card to show you a big difference, and I'm not saying that this card doesn't have more wow, just with more layers, etc., and with a ribbon. Just showing you how plain these two are. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe when I flip down you'll see that better. But that was using the subtle folder. This card, oh, I'm going to save that one for last because I'm going to show you a little technique. Hi, anybody joining me. Glad to see you here. Please share this video. So this card was a swap I got. I wanted to borrow, and I did borrow, the Healing Hugs stamp set from one of my team members. I saw a beautiful card that I liked, and I have lots of get well cards that I want to make. So anyway, I borrowed this, and then I got this swap card. And this swap card was done by Debbie Pronte. So you see how it uses the tufted folder. It has layers. It has lots here. That's not the point. What I wanted to show you is look at the difference between these two cards just by adding a little embossing. Now I did use different colors. I didn't add the rhinestones or the ribbon, but that's just what doing some embossing can do. So, and I'll show you the last card in a minute because I'm going to show you a little technique with the embossing as well. But what I'm going to do in my Facebook group, not on my page, but in my group, is a little challenge, and I want you to share your embossed cards with me. But anyway, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the embossing folders. So the embossing folders, like I said, they come in three, I don't want to say widths, it's more like depth. 3 depths. Some are very simple. This is the new button one. This one doesn't have the Sizzix in the corner. It's the new folder by Stampin' Up, and it is super, super thin. It feels really, really thin. So when I am embossing with this, I'm going to tell you the little secret or the little sandwich that I make. So anyway, I've got my Big Shot. I may flip you down in a second, but I want to talk once more really quickly about this embossing plate. Now this is a special plate. I forgot to look before I went on if it's back ordered or not. I got it when it first came out, when it was first released, and I use it all the time. So now with the sandwich I give you with these 3 folders, you only need the Big Shot platform, not the magnetic platform, but the Big Shot platform, and 1 plate. Now it could be this blue plate, which is thicker than this clear plate, and I labeled mine in the corner embossing only because I don't want it to get destroyed by cutting with the folders. But if you look, if I can get it just right, there is a difference in the depth of these 2 folders. The blue one is thicker. So you're going to use that definitely with the thinner folders, and all of Stampin' Up's folders that are being released are thinner. So if it doesn't say Sizzix in the corner, and it's if it's a thin folder, not a dynamic folder, not a 3D folder, and if it doesn't say Sizzix in the corner, you're going to use this blue plate. You will use the clear plate if it does say Sizzix, and especially if it says 3D. So let me show you what I'm going to do. When I flip you down, I want you to notice I still have here the July host code and the Daisy Lane host code. And I just want to tell you a little bit. I've been showing you the Daisy Lane cards that I've made with the Noble Peacock Designer specialty paper. If you place a $50 order with me, I will send you not only the stamp set to use the Daisy Lane stamp set, yet either let you know, all of a sudden it said that there may not be a connection. I'm hoping this keeps on recording. But anyway, if you sign up on my team, I will send you this sampler. So wanted to let you know that. Okay, so that's the sampler. You've got to sign up on my team by the end of August, and there's a special special promotion going on for that right now too. So let me just flip you now so I can show you a little bit with the Big Shot, and then one quick tutorial and the card that I wanted to show you, or one quick demonstration, the card that I wanted to show you. So here we go. Let's see how this is going to work. Okay, getting ready to flip. I'm so sorry. Okay, there we go. So here's the July host code. Use it if you're placing a $50 order. I will send you a surprise in the mail. I've gone through all of my retired DSP and I want to send something to you. For using the Daisy Lane host code, you get the tutorial and the specialty Noble Peacock paper that you need to complete your thing. So here is the Big Shot. And I've got my Big Shot platform. We've got 3 embossing folders. Now, I'm going to tell you first, put it in spine first when you're going in, the folded edge first, or you'll end up with what I did. I broke it. I forced it in, it went this way, there was a bubble in the folder, and it broke, and I probably had used it twice, and I had to buy a new one. Because for some of these, it really matters if they match up or not. Maybe not so much with this one, but spine first when you're putting it in. So, here we have the button folder. So this is a nice thin folder, very, very thin, like I said. For this one, I use this tab 2 and the multi-purpose platform. And I'm going to use the thicker plate, and I'm going to run it through. I don't have any cardstock to show you. I just did not think about that. But anyway, you can see that I'm not forcing it through. It's running through very, very easily. Okay, so that's that one. That's with the thin folder. Now, we have a folder here. This is a 3D folder as well. This is the Pinewood Planks, but it's a Sizzix folder. Maybe I should show you this one next. This is the brick and mortar one. Stampin' Up! It does not say Sizzix in the corner, so it's thinner than this one, but it's still a 3D folder, so you don't need as much. What you're going to do is take away this tab 2. I don't need all that. And for that one, I'm going to run it through, and I'm going to again do the blue, and I'm just going to run it through. And see, it takes no effort whatsoever. Sometimes you even feel like you're not really moving it through at all. But now, if I did this one, which says Sizzix, a little bit thicker, if I did that one here with this blue, I'm going to see very quickly, oh, see it is giving me a lot of tension, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead, and you may have some tension because it is a thick folder, but what I'm going to do instead is use my clear plate. So see, I have the Big Shot platform, the folder, and the clear plate. I'm only using one plate, and see, it rolls through much easier. And I'm going to show you a technique with this one now. I want to show you a technique using this Pinewood Planks folder. But so the moral of the story is spine first through there. Make sure that you're using the correct platform and the correct plate. If it's the old Stampin' Up! Ones that say Sizzix, they're going to be a little bit thicker, and you're going to want to use this clear plate. Otherwise, you can get away with just this blue. So I would order it as soon as you can. I do want to tell you, though, one other thing. One other cute, really cool thing. You see this line here on the bottom? This line helps you line up your paper. So if I put my paper, I could have grabbed this already. This little paper, if I want my bricks to go in correctly, I'm going to want to make sure that my paper is lined up with the end. And it's even really handy that it goes in this direction, because most of the bricks are horizontal. I mean, there aren't too many bricks that go up and down like this. So the bigger side of my paper, the width of my paper, the 5 1/4 or 5 1/2 or whatever, is going to fit nicely this way. If you do it this way and you line it up with the bottom, it's almost, you'll see that it's a little bit, it goes beyond the length. But use this line as a guide. That's the moral of that story. So spine first, use the correct platform. Now, here's the technique I want to show, and I'll show you the card. So this is the card first. So this is a plain card, still beautiful, but a plain card. And I got a card, let's see, it's from Carol Ann Patterson. It uses different colors, but this card, hers is definitely more advanced than this one. But see, it's plain, there's no extra embossing. I could sponge, I could stamp, I could do anything. But this is a nice, simple card. Thanks for being you. I'm thinking this bird is being himself. He's not following the rest of the crowd. Thanks for being you. So that's that card. Now, I made this card. I should keep that close by. And look at this card. And I am kind of following the card from Carol Ann, except that she did not do this embossing that I want to show you. So this is a cute little technique that I want to show you. What I'm going to use is my brayer, and I think this is the current one. The one in the catalog looks white, but I think it's because it has white ink on it. So what I am going to do is take my embossing folder, and I can do either side. For mine here, I'm pretty sure that I actually embossed the back because the dents are into it, but we'll see. You know what? I'm going to try embossing the front. We'll see what happens. But it'll turn out totally different depending on which side I emboss. So I'm going to ink up this brayer pretty good. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to get a little bit of ink. Actually, you know what? I am going to do it on each side so you can see the difference. So you don't have to really layer it on. But what I'm going to do is put this in here, and I'm going to I'll put it just like that. Just lay it in there. And remember I said this is one of the ones that says Sizzix on it yet. Let me close my ink before I get that all over me. So I'm going to put this in here, spine first. You know what? I think I wanted to ink that up a little bit better down at the end. I can see that when I put that through that I kind of missed a spot down there. So let me just ink that a little bit better. Down here, down here. Put that aside again. And we're going to put that in here. I'm just laying that in here. And if it's inked, especially if it's really inky, you're not going to want to move it too much. So try to just drop it in here so that you don't... I guess I'm a little nervous because I didn't do a great job dropping it in here. But you're going to see what's going to happen. See, I got it on my fingers. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to put it in here, spine first. Just the clear plate. I'm running it through. I'm sorry you're shaking. Here we go. And look at that how cool that paper is. It looks weathered to me. You know, like a weathered old board type of thing. So like plank siding or something. And now what I'm going to do, I've already colored my birds. See, I did this. What I would do is take my nesting, nesting labels, I think they're called, and cut that out. And then I would pop that up. You can see, it's almost like one of those eclipse cards, but not quite. I punched it out with the die, and then I just popped it up, and I attached this. And I just want to show you a little bit more on here. When you're coloring with your blends, and I am not perfect by any means. I'm still learning just like all of you. But you start with your dark, and I've already did that here. And then I'm going to take my light blend, my light Calypso Coral, and I'm going to blend that. And if I blend it a little bit more, I can kind of get rid of some of that dark. But the artist has already given the lines. And like I said, I'm not an artist, but I love to stamp. I love to be creative. And with stamping, I can, because those lines, all of the, I don't want to say dimension, but there's so much going on in these stamps that the artist put in there that all I have to do is color them. And with blends, that's really, really forgiving. And then, of course, the pièce de resistance, whatever, is that I'm going to color my bird. It's going to stand out, it's going to shine. And I'm going to put that on the card. And look at that. So look at, isn't that cool? So, I guess that's really kind of all. Oh, I was going to show you this a little bit closer. So maybe you can see some of these. So these are all of our embossing folders. And I put them, so it's a 2.5 by 4 inch piece on a 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 piece. And you can see all of them, and they're so beautiful. So yes, I have them all, except for the one that is by my upline's house, but I was able to get by. That's the woodland one, but I was able to get by because other people have that. But isn't that beautiful? And the rainbow of colors. So you keep that close to your embossing folders, and you always know, first of all, what the name of it is, because when I finish, it'll have the name of it and the item number, but you also know what's current and what you have. So I'm going to unflip. I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot, and please share with me all of your, what you've done with embossing, how you've dressed up your cards. I'd love to see your cards, so please, I'm going to do the challenge in my group. Join my group, Paper Crafting with Jeannie. That is not the same as my Paper Crafting Jeannie team page, but Paper Crafting with Jeannie. Join my group. I'll accept you, and we will have some fun, and we'll interact. And I want to see what you're doing. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy your day. If you're on vacation, have a wonderful, restful time. If you're working, I hope you catch this later, and I hope you learn a lot. Talk to you soon. Bye.